So yesterday, I came back from work, and I parked in this basement kind of parking area. It is open, so you could call it basement. It's basement level, but it's not basement all covered up. It's not like that. But anyways, so I get home. I get out of the car because I have to open this gate, right? So as I approach the gate, I step on something soft, fluffy, and crunchy, you know? And I step on it and I look down and I just see like what looks like feathers. And I'm like, I killed one! Oh no! You know? And then I realized it was just one of those, those fur plants, those bollikies, when you step on them, they do that. I thought I killed a bird, and right after last week's episode, we just can't have such allegations. Oh, Xavier killed a bird, the thing he fears the most in the world. It's not the thing I fear the most in the world, but it's one of them. Anyways, let's start the show. Hello and welcome back to the show, everybody. I say everybody, I mean the 10,000 people watching, and that's just what you call wishful thinking. And, I've been thinking about that lately, actually, like, Xavier, do you like attention? And the answer is, it might surprise you, the answer is absolutely. What's wrong with that, dude? It's like, it's almost like it's a shameful thing. Or it's perceived as a shameful thing in society, but that's crazy, man. Or maybe it's crazy to like attention. Who can say? I guess it depends on to what extent you want, or to what extent you're willing to go for attention, And a friend of mine hit me up recently, a friend of mine, we haven't spoken in some years, life gets in the way of such things. I'm also really bad at keeping in touch with people. Goodness me, yeah. It's like really out of sight, out of mind. That's sort of how I operate, Although I do miss people, and this you do think of them sometimes. But anyways, shout out Mikhail, and he sent me a message, and he's like, I don't know how you managed to actually put out, the content. Like he would be terrified to do that, and I was like, I don't know, man. I'm just thinking like, it's probably because I like attention. I don't know. But then again, I'm not exactly bothered if no one watches, I guess it's maybe it's just the perceived feeling of, of I'm getting attention by, you looking at me. And at this point, I'm talking to a camera, I'm talking to a phone, actually. So, so maybe that's some food for thought, But welcome to the show. Wow, I was still busy with the welcoming. Welcome to the show. This is all over the show in which your host Xavier talks about whatever damn thing gets on his mind, Maybe I'll share some updates about my life. There isn't new things about my life right now at this point, but that's okay. Maybe I will just share some opinions and stuff I think about, stuff I've been thinking about, or something that just pops up randomly into my head, and that's why it's called All Over Show, because truly it is all over the show, And I heard someone say that almost as a critique. Almost as a critique, and I'm like, dude, that's the show. That's not that's not a problem. That's what the show is all about, And so if you were looking for coherence, and if you were looking for continuity, and if you were looking for a consistent stream of consciousness, you've come to the wrong place. Okay, you're just here to listen to my insanity, and that's the best thing that I can call it, And I wonder, what would it be like to be in someone else's brain, I think it's like, because I wonder, like just in comparison, because sometimes when you talk to people, you realize, oh, we think very differently, like I find it fascinating that there are people who like conversations with my brother, and he's a pretty level-headed person, I am not, dude. But apparently it's a common thing with older children. They are the real like the older one in the of the siblings, the oldest one, he's could be, or she is an absolute lunatic, and maybe that's just the case in my family. I am the lunatic of the family, and that is no exaggeration, dude. Like I definitely stand out. You know what I mean? Like everybody else in my family is very reserved. Whether they're extroverts or introverts, and there's a combination of them. They're very reserved. They're very level-headed. They're very peaceful. They're very, there's a stoic air about them, and I am not that way in the slightest, dude. I think what I can possibly be best characterized as, how everybody goes to a stadium, There's going to be rugby in Bloemfontein, by the way. Very excited for that. What I'm not excited for, I've just changed the topic. I'm so sorry, but I'm not sorry, actually. This is what you came for, okay? And, yeah, there's rugby going to be in Bloemfontein. The Springboks are playing against Portugal, I think. I've never even heard of Portugal playing rugby. So it's gonna be a slaughter, dude. It's gonna be really bad for Portugal, But maybe they'll beat us. Who knows? Wouldn't that be something? That'll be the more interesting story. The underdogs, Portugal, defeating the world champions, South Africa, the Springboks, the team of Rassie Erasmus, the 3-time world champions. Or is it 4-time? 4-time world champion, twice in a row. Something like that. I don't know. I don't pay attention that good. I don't listen so good. And what I'm disappointed by is that the Springboks today's Thursday, by the way. You're going to watch this on Friday, hopefully, or whenever you watch it. Doesn't matter, dude. But today, the 18th of July, is going to be the Springboks. They are going to visit the mall that I live right across the street from. And they're going to visit there. And while they are there, I am going to go wait for my sister at school. Man, I really wanted to go. I really wanted to meet those guys, take some pictures and have them sign my lower back. I don't think they would do that, but I'll ask, I will ask, They say ask and you will receive, or you will receive a no, but at least ask, So I'm a bit disappointed by that, but that's okay. Life is full of disappointments. Life is full of excitement, and pleasant surprises and unpleasant surprises. It's just, life is a mixture of everything, man. If your life was just everything is going awesome, you are living in a dream, and it's not real. If everything is going horribly wrong in your life, also awesome, because sorry, I've been having some nose trouble lately, and I always have nose trouble. Goodness. But anyways, am I good? Let me just check in the mirror. Yeah. Imagine if I sneeze down here, and like I didn't notice there's maybe a boogie or two just chilling, and then I'm just like, the rugby, and then you're just watching that, and then in the comments be like, hey, there's snot on your face, dude. There's some maggots crawling out of your nose or something. But anyways, if that is the case, just comment there. But I don't think it is. I have a mirror right here. I think it looks good. It looks good, doesn't it? It looks like a Muppet. Anyways, for those of you listening, I was just looking in the mirror. There's a mirror right here, like right next door. Right, yeah. Anyways, what was I talking about? Come on, man. Help me out here. Oh, I was saying that life is full of if you live in a nightmare, if everything is horrible, that's a nightmare, dude. That's a nightmare. But guess what? That's also just a dream. Because life is not just full of the horrible things. Life is not just full of the beautiful, wonderful things. It's a combination. It's a mixture. It's a balance of order and chaos. And that is what makes life interesting. If you can only expect good things, it's going to be boring as hell, dude. if you can only expect bad things, it's also kind of boring, actually. You're just like, oh, look at that, another disaster. I have to go and sort that out now. Oh, look at that, another thing. Oh, look, oh, the car has crashed. Oh no, look, I've pooed my pants. Oh no, look at that. The poo has messed on the bed. Just things like that. Oh, I thought I was farting, you know. But and that's life, and that's beautiful. That's why I don't understand. Like I understand talking about your life, the situations in your life, the circumstances you face. Definitely talk about that, discuss it, but don't complain about it. My word, like is there anything more ungrateful than complaining? You know what I mean? Because we all have suffering, man. We all have suffering, but there's also good things in this life. And it's like, and sometimes we complain about the smallest things, and today's Mandela Day, apparently. And in Mandela Day, you do, like, apparently, I don't know what the number is, 67 minutes of service or whatever. I don't know what that's all about. But it's basically an encouragement. Nelson Mandela announced this when he was still alive. On his birthday, he wants his birthday to be a day in which everybody needs to do some form of service, some sort of community service, just to help out your fellow man, to help out your fellow woman, just to help out your neighbor, And I read something very interesting in Nietzsche's book, and that's Friedrich Nietzsche, on what is it? Beyond Good and Evil. That's the name of the book. A very difficult thing to read. Nietzsche is not easy to read, but luckily when I read, like, I have ChatGPT open, and then I'm reading, and when I don't get something, I'm like, ChatGPT, what does this mean? And then it explains so well, That's because I asked, please explain it like I'm 5 years old, and then it does a pretty good job. I'm not sure a 5-year-old would understand, but at least an adult with the brain of a 5-year-old can do that. But what was I saying now? Oh, so he says in Beyond Good and Evil, there's one of these little aphorisms or thingies that he says here, these lines that he says. And he says, everybody thinks that their neighbor is actually their neighbor's neighbor, And I was like, wow, what a cool observation. Because that's what we do, right? We don't recognize ourselves to be the person that says, hey, I'm the neighbor that is supposed to help this person. You're like, no, why don't these people help these people? And that's not good. That's really not good. But what a cool observation. I mean, this book was written, I think, in 1829 or something like that. This was a long time ago. This is over 200 years almost 200 years ago, not over 200 years ago. This book was published over almost 200 years ago, and it's amazing to see that society still operates on some of these basic things, and it's a curious thing. I mean, that's not a very old philosophy, but definitely something that's still relevant today. It's very interesting, and I mean, the Christian idea of neighborly love, of helping your neighbor, of being less, of putting yourself last and putting everybody else first. That whole philosophy that Jesus Christ brought to us is like, it's much older. And yet, in our nature, we are these creatures that are like, no, my neighbor will be looked after by my other neighbor. I don't have to involve myself. And that's wrong. You absolutely do have to involve yourself, we should not be the rule, rather the exception. But if we're all the exception, then there's no exception, and that's another funny little irony of life. Anyways, what was I talking about? I don't know what I was talking about. I was saying that today's Mandela Day, community service. Oh snap, I almost forgot. I have to put this here, this little device, just to keep track of time. I think I started about 20 minutes ago. Let me just check. I didn't even check what time I started. All right, we're about 16 minutes in, and that'll be shaved down a little bit, anyways, because I had a few false starts, and that happens. That happens. But yeah. So it's been a interesting ride so far. Um, what was I even talking about? 67 minutes. The Springboks. Oh my word! I'm just gonna move on. Sorry, this happens. Um, but anyway, so I think it's really cool that we live in a no. I don't know where I'm even at right now. Um, how can I hit a blank? That's crazy. But anyways, I just want to tell you that life is good. Life has its ups and downs. Yeah, this is what I was saying, and that's what makes life interesting. Okay, but if life is good for you, oh, this is where I was going. Wow, I found my way back. How awesome is that? This is what I was saying. It's clear. It is clear, and it only requires a shift in perspective. It is crystal clear that your problems are better than most other people's problems. I promise you that. If you are able to watch this right now, you don't have it bad. Don't for 1 second think you do. Maybe you're feeling terrible. Maybe you're in a really poor state of mind. Maybe mentally you're suffering through some illness or ailment. Maybe you have a physical illness or ailment. Maybe you are perfectly fine, but you're just getting cold. Or your worst complaint is that your boyfriend does not respond to your messages on time, or something silly like that. You have to realize that however bad your problems are, someone's always got it worse. And no matter how good things are going for you, things are going better for somebody else. What's the meaning of all that? It means that you are not special. Our problems are not special. Our successes, our enjoyments, our luxuries are also not special, because there's someone who has more. There's someone who has less. You are not special, and I think that's awesome. I think it's really cool that we are not special, because if you are special, then you already place within yourself subconsciously certain expectations that you must somehow meet. But these are not personal expectations that you have of yourself. These are expectations that come from the outside. And once those are given to you, you're like, okay, I was told that I'm a really good musician. I guess that's what I am. And then you put so much pressure on yourself to kind of prove to everybody that you are, even though they were the ones that said you are. You don't need to prove it. And nor do you need to live up to that. Don't live up to other people's expectations, man. Live up to your own expectations. Unless those people's expectations are perfectly reasonable. Like a lot of the times we are like, hey man, we're asked, can you just make up your bed? And that's something that I do make up my bed every single day. However, what I've been trying to achieve is waking up and then making my bed immediately, But when I wake up, I'm just like, coffee, coffee, coffee. Oh, there's no coffee in there. Oh, okay, put it down. Okay. 1 teaspoon. Okay, close that. And then the sugar. Oh, that's tea. No, we don't need that. There we go. That's the sugar. Oh, more tea. Why do we have so much tea? There's the sugar. 1, 2, 3, 4. Water. Oh, the water's cold. Okay, kettle. Okay. All right. Okay, there's my coffee. Okay. Start it. Oh, shit. Oh, so tired. Okay. Milk. Where's the fridge? Oh, wrong fridge. Okay. We have 2 fridges. Good. Oh, there we go. There's the milk. Oh, close the fridge. Okay. Put it. Oh, stop. oh, I'm awake, I'm alive. How good a wonderful day. Good morning, everybody, And that is how it goes every morning. And then I'm so like, oh, it feels so good. Let's listen to some music. Let's go. This performing enhancing drug called coffee. Caffeine, actually. Is amazing. I absolutely love coffee, dude. Wow. I wouldn't mind getting into the coffee business at some point. I'm always thinking of future businesses because I don't have the funding, expertise, knowledge, experience needed to make any of the business ideas that I have in my head successful. Even this was a business idea. I had no experience or knowledge. I just got into it and I learned how to do it, But this didn't there was no serious financial risk involved. You know what I mean? So when it comes to these other business ideas that I have, man, yeah, I wouldn't mind getting into the coffee business, having like some kind of branded coffee beans or fresh ground coffee. And maybe some merchandise with that, like a specialty mug, or stuff like that. Maybe later on, when you share this podcast enough, to the rest of the world, we can have that. So yeah, help me out here. Share the video, like it, and if you haven't already, please do subscribe. I mean, if you've been watching so far, dude, go ahead and subscribe, okay? You are already a diehard fan. If you made it past 5 minutes, if you made it past the first 5 minutes of the show, dude, please do yourself a favor and subscribe, man. Just help a brother out. And so yeah, what was I talking about? Okay, but anyways, let's talk about coffee a little bit. Jeez, what a cool thing, man. And then you know what happens? Okay, so in the morning you have coffee. You're like, okay, excellent. I'm awake now. I feel good. I'm pumped. Let's get it going. And then you come back and your room is a mess. You're like, okay, let's start with the bed. Isn't it amazing now how your room feels like a mess up until you make your bed? Once your bed is made, it's like, oh, that's it. My room is not actually a mess. It's just the bed, And I guess you can also count that as like a win. If you are someone who doesn't make up your bed often, which you really should. And Jordan Peterson talks about that. Dr. Jordan B. Peterson, and he's I've started listening to his podcast again. Just certain interviews. I used to listen to every single episode, dude, but I stopped listening because it got too political. It got too much into Canadian politics, and I have no idea what's going on in Canada. All I know is they have a president who's out of his mind, But so does America, and that's funny, Like that Joe Biden, they asked him, like, I don't know, they asked him about the economy or something, almost those debates where you have to, like, answer questions and things. And then, and then it's really mean, actually. They shouldn't do that. They shouldn't put this old man through this. I mean, how old is that guy? He might be 180 years old, man. This guy is, 80 is old, dude. Just add 100 on that. Come on, man. Now you go out there, Joe. Go speak to the people. That's so mean, dude. And then that guy, he comes out, he says, he's really old. Come on, man. He's an old guy. And they ask him, oh, Mr. President, what do you think about the struggles with the economy? And they're like, well, that's the thing. Like, sorry, COVID, the Mexicans, and sorry. And then they nobody has any idea what this guy's saying, dude, because he's old. He's an old man. He's an old man, and I think it's really mean to put him through that. Like, why do you want to be president again, dude? You don't even know what you're doing. You don't know, like I don't mean, I don't mean you don't know what you're doing as in you don't know how to do this job, but rather he doesn't know where he is, dude. He doesn't know what's going on. He's like, and you just gotta do it. And if you can't do it, you just have to. You just go and you get it done. We gotta get it done, and all the jobs. Jobs for Americans, for the Mexicans, for the immigrants. We give everybody jobs. There's jobs for everybody. We just gotta go and do it. Okay, Mr. President, but we asked you about foreign trade, and it's like, yeah, well, you just. No, man, that's horrible. It's really horrible, dude. Why would you do that, dude? We're talking a lot about presidents today, isn't it? We started with Nelson Mandela. former president of South Africa, and icon, true icon in human history. It's incredible, I think, yeah, his story is probably bigger than who and what he is, you know. And I always found it funny. Now, I'm not here to diss Nelson Mandela. I think Nelson Mandela has made a contribution to human society that surpasses anyone else's, contribution to society, dude. But I just find it funny. I just find it funny. YouTube might just remove me for this one. But I just find it funny that, like, I mean, come on, dude. Why was he in jail? He blew buildings up. Were there people in the buildings? Yes. Yes, there were, dude. Come on, man. Nelson Mandela was a terrorist. Anyways, but I'm happy that he was the president, because whatever philosophy he came out of prison with, really prevented an absolute bloodbath from taking place. Because what could have happened is, in an alternate reality, it could have been that he comes out of prison, he gets reelected as president. He's like, okay, let's just kill all the white people. That could have happened. And it didn't. It was all about forgiveness. It was all about, come, let's talk about what we all did. Whether you're white, whether you're black, it doesn't matter what your ethnicity or your racial background is. We come together. Whatever you did wrong, you have to say it out loud. And you have to basically, be forgiven for that. Because you cannot receive forgiveness if you're not willing to admit what you did wrong. That's what the Truth and Reconciliation Commission is all about. And I think it's beautiful that happened, But still a terrorist, dude. Come on, man. You're not gonna deny that. And nor should you. I think it's good. I think what's awesome here about that story is that this was somebody who had the right intentions, right? He did all these things to fight for freedom, to undermine a terrible regime. And when it was removed, his goal was achieved, right? And he needed something very important, which is just that we do all of this with a peaceful resolution. And that's excellent. That's excellent, But anyways, back to Joe Biden. I got and even like when the people ask him questions like, Mr. President, well, I have struggled to work ever since COVID-19. I have struggled to find a job and all that. What do you suggest I do? Oh, you just gotta go and do it. Then he's like, the bicycles. Oh my word! Come on, man. Why do you guys let this guy do anything, man? It's confusing. But anyways, back to Jordan Peterson, and that's where I was. What was I gonna say about him? Oh, so he talks about this. He's a psychologist, a psychotherapist as well, and he says that when you're struggling in life, when you feel like it's just chaos everywhere, and you want to do this life thing better. You want to do better by yourself. You want to do better by those around you. You just want to gain some sort of control over your own life, which everybody has the right to do, right? And he's like, start by making your bed. Start by cleaning your room, because that's your personal environment. I mean, even if it's a shared environment, it's still yours, right? So once you start there, oh my word, and then you get to your house, and then to your yard, and then to your neighborhood, and then to the larger community, your city, your province, or your state, or the country, or whatever, right? And you maybe won't ever get to those outer rings, but as long as you're inner, whatever size of influence you wish to exercise, you must start from the inside out, And there's so many books that I've read that talk about that when it comes to personal development, when it comes to being more effective as an individual, as a professional, as a leader even. You have to start in the middle first and then work your way out. What's in the middle? You are. Your bedroom is representative of who and what you are. you know. So, for example, I'm a musician, so you'll see a lot of musical stuff here, you know. I read, and that's why you see books. I, play with Rubik's cubes. I like solving puzzles, and so that's why you see those there. It's like that's basically who and what I am. All right, this is my essence. My bedroom is my essence, and or rather a reflection of my essence. And if it's a mess, it means internally you're probably a mess as well. And once you clean your room, for some reason, dude, cause and effect takes place, and you are cleared up the inside. It's a good place to start. But anyways, why was I talking about that? I don't know, but it's okay. It is what it is. But yeah, I'm getting back into the rhythm of things, I have to say. I find myself able to adjust easier to certain changes that happen, but also to adjust easier to what previously I could not adjust to, like, just some of the demands placed on me in life right now, responsibilities that I absolutely need to, see to. And because of those responsibilities, which are awesome, I think it's important to have responsibilities. But previously, I really struggled to keep to that routine. It's rigorous. It's non-stop, and it really takes away from what you want to achieve personally. But I think I think I'm getting into a proper rhythm. I haven't figured it out completely yet, because sometimes you feel so tired and overwhelmed. You're just like, oh my word, can this day just end? But that's getting better. And I think it's just about your perspective. I was listening to a podcast the other day. As I do, I listen to a lot of podcasts. I think I listen to podcasts more than I listen to music. Even in the car, like when I'm driving, I'm only if I'm alone, I'm listening to podcasts, dude. If I go and fetch my sister from school, or take my brother to the gym, or take my other brother to his music lesson, I'm playing music in the car. But if I'm by myself, dude, I'm listening to podcasts, because it's interesting. It's nice it feels like you're part of the conversation, and you kind of are, in that you're the listener, and your feedback is really more internal, and the person speaking, or the conversation that's being had because podcasts tend to be conversational. So I can't wait to have guests, man. It's gonna happen soon. I think I'm gonna bring people to my bedroom, man. This is gonna be how it's gonna go. I really think like, I'm still debating with myself, actually. So maybe you can let me know in the comments. Do you think it's a good idea to basically to have guests on in my bedroom? Is that a good idea to you? I don't know. It feels almost like I'm letting someone, just be inside my soul. This is who I am. Not really who I am. My bedroom does not define me, but it is a reflection. And so I see it that way. And when I'm in here, I'm really in myself. And when somebody else is here, it's like, maybe I should just do it. But anyways, what do you think? Let me know in the comments. Should I or shouldn't I have guests in my bedroom? I don't know, man. I'm very apprehensive about it, because on the one hand, it's a cool idea. It's definitely, I don't want to say original, because I've seen content creators who have guests on, and they are it's in the person's bedroom, but those are normally like streamers. I'm not really a streamer. I'm not playing games, or I don't even know what else the streamers do, to be honest. But yeah, maybe I should. Food for thought. Just let me know on that in the comments. That'd be cool. And I have so many things to talk about, and there's so many people I want to talk to. Oh my word, it's exciting. I don't know. And the thing is, it's difficult, because not difficult, but I think my challenge is gonna be trying to take things seriously, because I'm always gonna try to want to make someone laugh. Whenever there's someone around, especially someone new. If it's people I've known for years, I don't care about making you laugh, dude. But if you're new to the space, new to the environment, new to my circle, I'm gonna try and make you laugh, man. Because I want you to like me. I just want your approval, and that's also just approval seeking behavior, and I think that's normal. Is it normal? Who cares, dude? Who cares? But anyways, so yeah, today's Thursday. It's towards the end of the week, And I realized this the other day. I feel like I need to have the start of the week be on Sunday. I need to start seeing the start of the week as Sunday. You know? Reason why? The first thing you do at the start of the week is go to church. Receive the word of God. Let that be your strength that carries you through the rest of the week. Right? Why is Saturday the weekend? Because that's the day you get to chill. The day you get to relax. Sunday, you go to church, you receive the word of God. You also kind of get to chill and relax. But it's not the same. It doesn't have the same energy as Saturday. Saturday you go do stuff, or you chill at home and you watch movies. You spend some time with your significant other, or you spend time with your family, that kind of thing, And then Sunday, you just get to maybe, be more introspective, just recharge a little bit. But it's interesting how I recharge is by interacting with people, And I know a lot of people recharge the opposite way. They recharge by being alone, and that just drains me, dude. It drains me to be by myself, But fortunately, I have a lot of energy, so drain away, And I was thinking about, like, even drains, dude. Let's go to drains. We're talking about drains now. And it's funny, like, when it rains, when it rains really heavily and the streets start, getting a bit flooded or a bit, there's lots of puddles, deep puddles. Like, you literally have to avoid those places and people can't walk there. It's pretty rough. It's just because it's a blocked drain, And then you think about how far that connects to everything else. And that's beautiful. The beautiful thing about life is that everything is somehow connected, And so, I don't know why I have this brain. Why do I have a brain? Instead of just saying, oh, the drain's blocked, somebody should probably fix that, I go into a whole other direction. I'm like, okay, well, that's a blocked drain. It's a real problem. It's causing flooding. The road is getting flooded now. And if there's someone passing by, walking by, and a car drives by, drive by splashing over here, Just a attack on the dryness of your clothes. And it's like, okay, so what causes that? Okay, it's probably just a litter that's laying around, and when it rains, it all washes into the drain. But because it's all plastic and paper and glass and who knows what else, Once I saw a leather bag in the drain, dude. Like, that's crazy, man. Like, those storm drains next to the street, sometimes you see those, And sometimes you'll see, like, it there, and it's like, hey, come here, I've got some sweets for you. No thanks. I don't want sweets. Okay, I've got a puppy. Oh, you got a puppy? Let me see. And then you get eaten. You get let's not go there. Anyways. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. Now you see what happens? I'm at the drain, dude. I'm talking about the drain, and my thoughts literally go everywhere, right? So, so you see the drain, and it's blocked, and you're like, oh my, okay, so people should probably make sure that they don't throw litter in the street, and maybe if everybody cleans up after themselves, nobody's gonna be like, yeah, the municipality didn't clean that thing. Oh man, people are so hypocritical. It's hilarious because it's so funny. You blame the government on everything, dude, taking no personal responsibility. It's incredible. It's incredible. Oh, the power goes off. Oh no, what? Why are the lights on in your house all day? No, that's not important. It's like or being like, I really need to, I'm only going to pay for environmentally friendly products. It's like, oh, okay. At the shop. Yes, at the shop. Of course, that's where you buy things. Oh, and how are you going to get there? You're going to walk or take a bicycle? No. I'm going to drive there with my car. Oh, your car's electric? No, it's petrol. Oh. So how is that helping the environment? Like, we are not focused on the right stuff here, man. Like, it's so crazy how I find it hilarious that we can separate the requirement of taking responsibility from from the problem, right? Because you look at the problem and you think it's everything else, it's everybody else. And this goes back to that neighbor problem where my neighbor is the person that must help my neighbor, not me. I'm not the neighbor. You always see someone else as your neighbor's neighbor. And that's basically where we are at in life as well. It's like we see problems, and it's like someone should take care of that. Or maybe if people didn't litter, it wouldn't be like that. But hell, I litter too. You throw something out of the window of your car, or even you throw your rubbish in the trash, of course, but you don't separate it. We don't have any policies for recycling, for example, so you don't separate your plastics from your paper and your organic stuff and your glass and metal and all that stuff. And I get it. It's a lot of work. However, if it's a lot of work for you, don't complain about the drains being blocked, dude. Don't complain about the flooded street. If you don't want the street to be flooded, maybe you should recycle your things instead, or reuse them instead of letting that lay around and then cause more problems for everybody else, And then you blame the municipality. I always find that so funny, man. Why is it always the municipality's fault, dude? They have to, they basically have to just clean up after everybody. And if everybody cleaned up after themselves, maybe they can focus on something else, Now, I admit, in South Africa, we have some problems, okay? And those problems are called corruption. And these people are just looting public funds. But that's, fine. We'll give them that. That's what they do, okay? That's the perception that's created in South Africa when someone's a politician. It's like, oh, you're probably not a good guy, right? But I do believe that there are people in the lower levels of the government especially that are doing their best to make a difference in the community, in society, man. And I think those people need to be supported. I think to paint everyone with the same brush doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Are all politicians bad people? Maybe. Maybe. But not all of those people that are involved in politics are gonna be bad people, man. I don't think that's the thing. I think if you want to be the president, you're probably not a great guy. Because that's insane. Like, you want to be in charge of everything, and it's funny. There's no young person that wants that job, dude. There's no young person that's like, I'm gonna run for president. Like, it's always an old person. Why? Because that person is out of their freaking minds, dude. Sometimes I wonder, do we even need a president? Do we truly need one guy making these decisions? I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, if you want to run your country like a business, fine. A CEO works. But a CEO has a board, and that's parliament, I guess, for us. Holding everybody accountable, making decisions collectively, and all that nonsense. But if this were a business, it's a very poorly run business, If South Africa were a business, this is a failing operation, dude. You might as well declare bankruptcy. Then we can join what's this place? Argentina and Venezuela, those countries are absolutely, it's a disaster, but no one is ever too far gone to be saved. And I think that South Africa has the potential to be awesome, and it is awesome. It's just that it's run poorly, But it doesn't take a sophisticated brain to criticize the government, is what I'm saying. That's actually my point. And I'm sorry that it takes so long to get to my point. I just like talking, And then if you're listening to this podcast and you're like, oh, he talks too much. What do you expect, dude? Is there anyone else to talk to? Huh? Oh, he talks too much. Oh, he talks the whole time. When is he gonna get someone else a chance to talk? Dude, it's just me. If they were a guest, I'd let my guest talk. I'd ask him questions and probably interrupt him or her. But because I am like that, I need to stop doing that, Because sometimes, how you catch yourself doing something, and then you're like, or you catch yourself before you do something. I catch myself after I do it. Then I interrupt someone like, oh, okay, wait. Go ahead, dude. Sorry. It's really bad. It's a really bad habit. And I think that lane of having guests on is gonna make it possible for me to learn that habit, or learn a better habit of being less interrupting. Yeah, man, looks like we're making good time. Actually, I think we can go for another. Yeah, we can go for another 10, 15 minutes or so. I want to keep it to under an hour, man. Just for you as a viewer or listener. But anyways, so yeah, what's been going on in life with me, man? Oh yeah, this is what I was saying. I was listening to a Jordan Peterson podcast, and he had a guest on Jimmy Carr. Jimmy Carr is a comedian, and he is one of my favorite comedians, dude. He is an absolute killer on stage. Like, he has all these one-liners, and I think one-liners are my favorite kind of joke. I'm really I don't want to say that I'm studying comedy, but I'm definitely watching a lot of it and taking mental notes. You know what I mean? And I also have some jokes that I've written that I work on now and then, and once the opportunity comes again to actually deliver some of that material, it would be cool. I don't want to do it on such a platform. It's not that kind of thing. And some of the things that I've written has actually been something I've shared on this platform, but some of it is like, I want to do this in front of a room of people. I want to hear them laugh or not laugh, because that's also informative. And I think bombing is important if you're ever gonna be a comedian. But anyways, I'm getting off track again. My bad. That's just the way that it is. If you were to look at my brain, okay, my brain is like a. Have you ever been to a train yard? Okay, so a train yard is like, there's a few tracks coming in, and they split into all these different places where the trains can park. There's an area there where the trains get worked on. When the trains are done, that's where they left, so that they can go wherever else. But it's crazy. It's chaotic. It's all these intertwining tracks, right? And my brain is like that, but instead of just on this level, it's roller coasters, dude. And that's my brain, and I'm just hopping from roller coaster to 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 roller coaster. And as I'm doing that, it's just I'm really all over the place. Sorry. And but anyway, so I was listening actually. I can't watch. Like, watching, my attention drifts. So I'm one of those people that prefer to listen, okay? And I can use my imagination to see what's going on. Speaking of imagination, I was watching this video that said it's so important for your child to be bored. And I was like, what? Then I kept watching, because I was like, what are you even saying, lady? Woman? What are you talking about? And then I watched it, and then I was like, oh, it makes sense, because apparently boredom is the catalyst for creativity. You need to allow your child to be bored. What we do now when our child is bored, put that phone in that child's hand, play a game, watch YouTube. It's not, you're not inspiring any level of creativity, any level of problem solving, because boredom is the problem. How do I solve this problem? And I remember when I was a kid, you could never go to your mom and dad and say, hey, I'm bored. They're going to be like, well, go do something, So you just don't bother with that. You just go and you go do something, dude. Yes, I would go play outside, you have cars, but you take a brick to make the road for the car. You take that brick and you just across the sand there, And then as you're doing that, then your friend comes and just... just to clear the finer dust away, because this is like the bulldozer and this is just like the street sweeper, just making it nice and neat and cool for the cars, then your cars can come and you can drive. And that was maybe one of the funnest. I could spend hours doing that, dude. I could spend hours building a city and driving cars around on this dirt track, and my clothes from here to my shoes. Actually, I didn't wear shoes that time because I'm a kid, man. Why? I don't like wearing shoes now. If I could be barefoot all the time, awesome. Except in the mall, those people are animals. So this video says that kids need to be bored because it allows them to figure stuff out, Then I was like, but what if that works for adults too? And it does. So how about this? Stop entertaining your boredom. Use your boredom as an idea machine. Okay, come up with things, come up with ideas. Like sometimes I when I'm bored, then I'm like not lust to do anything. I'm like, oh, I don't want to watch Netflix. I don't want to listen to music. I don't want to do a podcast. I don't want to read right now. Then I sit by the piano, even if I don't want to do that. And you know what happens, dude? Magic happens. You mess around, then you come up with an idea. Bang, 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 bang. That's not my idea. Obviously, I don't want to give you one of my ideas. You'll hear it in a song at some point. Beep, beep, foreshadowing. Bing, bing, beep, 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 bing. But anyways, so that is how the creative process is encouraged, And if you do it in kids, man, it's something cool happens because kids have awesome brains. They have fresh brains. They have brains that are not, dirtied or tainted by all the unnecessary garbage that we've all been exposed to, So I love that idea. And I think I want to find myself more bored more often, because I think that's the real time and place where creativity can really be expressed, and where your imagination can really be strengthened. And I think that's important, right? You need a strong imagination to come up with good ideas. And some of the most creative people in the world are people who have vivid imaginations, I mean, what Da Vinci used to do? This is so cool. Da Vinci would put a candle, right, at there's a little table by his bed, at the foot of his bed, table there, and it would flicker, obviously as candles do. And what he would do is he would lay on his bed almost in a trance state, watching the shadows just move around, and eventually images come to his brain, that aren't there, but they come, and then then he's like, oh, I've got an idea, and then he goes and he sketches, or he draws, or he writes, or he paints, whatever, and so you'll find it interesting. So many of the creative people have something similar. Nikola Tesla had a process as well. I'm not sure what his process was, but he had a process where he had a sort of a similar almost meditative exercise that he would do that would tap into that, because you're not doing anything, right? That's what boredom is. That's what boredom is. So I thought that was really cool. But anyways, for the last time, I've been trying to get back to this podcast that I listened to. And I think, let me see, how much time do we have? Yeah, I think I'm going to end on this thought that I'm about to share with you. So Jimmy Carr was interviewed by Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson is obviously a huge fan of stand-up comedy. He's also a big proponent of free speech. He says that you should be able to express ideas and thoughts and opinions without any suppression, without any censorship, because he himself, as the controversial figure that he is, and he isn't actually that controversial. It's just that people make him out to be controversial, or people create controversy by what he says and what he does. It's stupid, man. It's really sensationalism, and that's just to show you how far the media has gone, man. It's time for media to just But anyway, so he's talking to Jimmy Carr about jokes, and Jimmy Carr is actually a fascinating guy, because he has sort of broken down comedy into a science, into almost like a philosophical, no, not philosophical, but a scientific study. It's a field of study that he's participated in, the history of comedy, all these types of things. But anyways, so he says the thing that happens in an exchange like that, a stand-up comedian standing in front of a crowd of people, you guys all get to share in a common sense of humor, And if you know Jimmy Carr, he tells some pretty wild jokes, right? Some pretty dark, off-color things. And the stuff he says is not his opinions. They are jokes. No matter how terrible they are, how terrible the idea of it is, you still laugh. Right? And what he says it's all about is that you can control you can't control your position wherever you are in life, whatever circumstances you encounter. And I love that translates to life. You cannot control your external environment, wherever you find yourself. That's your position. But you can change your disposition, meaning you can change how you view things, right? That's why someone who's dead broke can be the happiest person ever. And that's how someone who is super rich can be absolutely miserable. It's all about position. So if you find yourself to be absolutely miserable or in a really happy place right now, just remember, it's all about perspective. What perspective do you want to be in? And sometimes that just requires you, instead of zooming in, because sometimes we live our lives like that. We're looking at the finest detail. We've just zoomed in completely. Oh, look, a lion. What is that? Elephant skin? Is it the testicles of a sheep? Is it a landmark on the Grand Canyon? What is it? Zoom out. Shoop, shoop. Oh, it's a hand. And that's what we need to do, I think. And some people have a perspective that's too broad to be able to tackle specific issues, to be able to confront specific situations. So it's like, maybe if you're a person who's too zoomed out, I'm one of those people. I tend to zoom out maybe too much, where you kind of lose perspective. Either way, whether you're too zoomed in or too zoomed out, you lose perspective. If I zoom out far enough, I won't be able to even see the hand. I'll be like, oh, look at the planet. Zoom out even more. Oh, galaxy. Zoom out even more. Oh, that's the universe. Goodness. Zoom out more. Oh, you can't. That's it. That's the whole thing. Maybe if you zoom out more, there's other universes. Wouldn't that be something? Because the universe is so big. It's ridiculous. Like I love those videos that show you like the vastness of the universe, But that also relates to perspective, right? Sometimes we're in this little universe and these are all our problems, and it's like, this is terrible. Oh my word, how am I gonna, I don't know what to do. Oh, this is horrible. And then you zoom out, it's like, oh, it's actually not that bad. Look at this. You guys, you have worse problems than me. And now we've come full circle even, because now it's like, you get to see that people have it better than you. People have it worse than you. You are not special. It's all about perspective. When you make yourself too special, that's when you come with serious problems. That's when you become more anxious, more depressed. If you realize, oh, I'm not that special, then you're like, meaning my issues aren't that bad. Brush it off. Done. Done, son. And then you're good again. And yes, there might be, God likes to throw a little rock in the pond sometimes to just shake the waters up a little bit. And that's fine. You just have to find a new perspective then. And that's beautiful. I think that's beautiful. That's a nice little answer to life, is that you can't change your position, but you can change your disposition, And with that, let's just see, how are we on time? With that, can I just see quickly? Yeah, we're approaching an hour. Okay, I'm done. With that, done, son. Episode done. Goodbye. See you next week.